test drive with Evan and Matt. We're gonna have some fun today. This is gonna be a great day. We just got back from Canada at the car show, and Matt called me up and said, hey, Ev, would you like to drive the Ford GT? Of course you're gonna say yes to something like that. It's a vehicle I'm getting used to. I've never driven one of these yet, so this is a first. And hopefully we'll stay out of trouble. Okay, this thing really hauls the mail. Twin turbo EcoBoost. Is it 647 horsepower, man?
It is.
647 horsepower. We don't want to do anything too stupid here.
550 foot-pounds of torque.
550 foot-pounds of torque. All the controls are on the steering wheel. The turn signals are buttons that you push. Of course, what you really want to push is the throttle, which, oh my God, this thing sounds angry when you get on it. And we're on Woodward Avenue in Detroit. Probably, aside from being at Le Mans, I don't know that there's too many cooler places that you could be cruising this thing. We'll give you a look at the outside when we get done. But Matt, this is the black. What edition car are we driving?
It's just a standard road-going Ford GT in shadow black with the orange stripes and the orange accent interior package here.
Carbon wheels.
Carbon fiber wheels, exposed carbon fiber lowers on the outside.
Right. And so my immediate takeaways are I love the seating position. It's really low. The seat, like you said, is bolted directly to the tub, so you definitely get a lot of vibration and you really feel the car. You're not separated, and I think on a track that would probably really help the driver feel every little nuance.
Yeah.
I could see out of it a lot better than I thought I would be able to. The mirrors are nice and big. I can see out of the back just fine. Obviously the windshield is awesome. The whole view, everything about this car, the view. It's got some orange on the dash, which makes it kind of nice because it adds a little bright work in here. Serialized. I love the touch of the American flag. We'll show you that later. It's got the hockey puck style shift selector like all the new Fords. This, I don't know what shape you call this because it's kind of a weird shape. Flat bottom, flat top steering wheel.
Yeah, it's F1 inspired.
F1 inspired. Yeah. I mean, it's full race car stuff right here, guys. This is really cool. Let's see what this baby can do. Man, this thing really pulls.
It does pull.
I think I touched the rev limiter first and second gear. I was trying to like make sure we didn't hit anything. Wow. Brisk acceleration, and that engine just growls and spits out horsepower.
It does. It's an angry beast.
Oh, listen to it.
Brake check. I was waiting for you to get on the brakes. Nobody behind you.
Oh. Matt wants me to experience the extreme braking capabilities of this thing.
It's pretty damn impressive.
All right, we'll have to see if we can pull some negative G's here in a little bit. Wow.
And we're running with air conditioning on, which is sapping some power.
Yeah, that's all right though.
Yeah.
It's in the name of our comfort.
That's true. 80 degrees out.
It is a gorgeous day here in Michigan.
We don't have that many of them either, so
all right.
Take it when we can get it.
Look, a small stretch of smooth road.
That's crazy talk. Well, we should put it in sport mode.
Oh yeah, hit sport mode, see what that means all about.
Dial.
Alright. Oh, we got dials and stuff? Okay.
Yep, there you go.
Now we're in sport mode. So what does that give us, Matt?
It changes the shift mapping, that's in auto mode.
Okay. Let the car do the shifting for a few minutes. Alright, so some of the cool features that everybody loves about the Ford GT is the active wing. It's flat and flush with the car at low speed, and when you're parked, if you want it to be, at about 70 miles an hour, it raises up, gives you downforce, looks super cool, and it also has this little active gurney flap that can either drop down or raise up depending on how much downforce you need and what speed you're going, which is pretty neat. give you a little bit of extra downforce. On the street, it probably doesn't make a whole lot of difference, but on track, it gives you that little edge over everybody else, and that's what you want. You got to have the edge. Matt, this car has, the Ford GT, meaning this car has a lot of race history for a car that's still relatively new. I mean, it's got a lot of big wins on its resume, right?
It does. Won at Laguna Seca, it's won at Road America, obviously Le Mans, huge. Daytona for sure, yeah.
Right, so somebody who buys this car, you're buying, I mean, aside from the speculated value, a car that's an absolute piece of Ford history. It's an instant icon. Downshift this thing. DCT trans, the EcoBoost engine. We're in manual mode. Paddle shift on the steering wheel here. In fact, everything's on the steering wheel. We'll show you that in a little bit. All the different, it's like you said, it's F1 inspired, so it's got all the knobs, switches, even the turn signals are on the steering wheel. Of course, a lot of cars today have everything on the steering wheel, but this literally has everything. There's no turn signal stalk. There's just a few switches here and there.
They wanted every single thing to keep your hands on the wheels.
Yeah, and it is. That's pretty much where my hands have been. Yep. So it's definitely a stiff car. I mean, race pedigree. I'm sure that this thing would really, really do well on basically any type of road course. Matt says the brakes are probably one of the best parts about this car. They're just fantastic.
They are. They are absolutely phenomenal.
I can feel.
But I prefer not to, get the seatbelt digging into my shoulder, so you don't need to slam on them.
We'll limit the negative G full-on brake test. Although we did lay into the brake pretty good, and you feel your body just get sucked into the seat, and it's almost like you could feel that. The way I would describe it is, I knew if I fed more brake into it, it would just continue to stop more aggressively and put you not in the seat, but you feel yourself getting sucked down, almost to the point where I would really want to be in a 5-point harness if I was going to drive this car aggressively, because the car is so capable of pulling G-forces that try to hold yourself in place.
Yeah, the seats are good, but understandable the car is capable of moving you.
I like the fact that the pedals and the column are adjustable to the driver, up, down, in and out, telescopic, and the top opening in the steering wheel gives you a perfect view of the big digital dash, which we'll show you here in a little bit.
Yeah, the dash is reconfigurable in a bunch of different ways, depending on what mode you're in.
Okay.
A number of other things, you can adjust it. You can see virtual gauges,
wow, that's really
tire
cool.
pressures, fuel economy.
Fuel economy?
Yeah. This is EcoBoost.
Well, we're not worried about that today.
This one might be a little bit more of an EcoBeast, but that's okay.
EcoBeast.
It's pretty much anytime I talk to you, it's to invite you to do something that's generally a pretty good day.
Yep.
Off-roading in the Raptor together was a good time. V10 Mustang.
That was blast.
Love the V10 Mustang.
There's been so many tips. Right-hand steer bullet.
Oh yeah.
We drove that in the rain, power shifting. That was with the left hand. That was kind of cool. Then we got some neat stuff coming up on the channel too. In about a month, I'll be out in San Francisco driving the new performance version of the EcoBoost Mustang.
Yep. And then later in the year, we have GT500.
Yep, and then we'll have the GT500 after that, which that's what everybody's waiting for.
Of course.
That's the big daddy of the Mustang world. Everybody wants to know. All right, guys, so we're heading back to park the Ford GT. We'll give you a look at some of the features once we pull in. But I got to thank Matt. This has been a great day. Been fun driving this thing, and we have a lot more cool stuff coming up on the channel. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned, because it's only going to get better.